Hello, good evening students. Today we have discussed or entered into new model number 4, design of three-phase induction motor. So before going to that, one more concept we have to observe. It is known as general concepts and constraints of a rotating electrical machine. The electrical machines may be AC machine or DC machine. So it is referred as general. Hence, before going to the design of three-phase induction motor or design of DC machines or design of synchronous machines, for all three chapters, it is one of the basic platform or foundation. First one that already I explained, this section provides the basic relation between rating of machine or output of machine to its main dimensions or volume of active materials required or magnetic loading, electric loading. So this concept is mainly taken for DC machines as well as AC machines. AC machines, again, it may be induction motor or it may be synchronous generator. The main logic behind this section is make the relation between rating of machine and its main dimensions. That means how these things are related. If I go on taking the main dimensions, active parts of the machine and rating of machine. Rating of machine may be kilowatt or rating of machine may be kVA. Hence, before going to our small derivation, we have to know the basic symbols used in these machines. So D be the diameter of armature if in case of DC machine, or in case of AC it may be stator bore, it is in meter. L stator core length or armature core length. Stator core length, it is in AC machine, and armature core length, it is in DC machine. So N be the speed, it is in revolutions per second. Ns synchronous speed, again it is revolutions per second. In usual problems we have to express N in revolutions per minute, that is capital N, and synchronous speed in RPM be the Ns. Ns equal to 120 F by P later on, where Ns is in RPM. So tau be the pole pitch, it is in meters. This pole pitch equal to pi d divided by P. And Z be the total number of armature conductors or stator conductors. TPH, number of turns per phase. Iz, current in one conductor or current in each conductor, it is in amperes. E be the back EMF, and EP be the induced EMF per phase, it is in volts. So P be the rating of machine, it is particularly in DC machine, it is in kilowatts. Q be the kVA rating of machine, it may be AC machines. So PA, power developed across the armature, again it is in kilowatts. These symbols are very much required for all these models. These are basic equations throughout the models. So next important concept, main dimensions. This is the first step in design, which are called the main dimensions. So number 1 D, number 2 L. D in case of DC machine, diameter of armature. L in case of DC machine, length of armature core length. In case of AC machines, D diameter of stator bore and L be the length of stator core. These two are referred as main dimensions of machine. Remember, first step, what are the main dimensions? L and D. Here you can observe in the figure number 1, in figure number 2. Figure number 1, you can observe stator, outer part of the machine is stator and inner rotating part is called rotor, and gap between stator and rotor, that is known as air gap. Gap between stator and rotor is known as air gap. Length of this air gap is referred as length of air gap, that is observed in figure number 2. LG is the length of air gap, whereas capital D is the diameter of stator bore. Dr is the diameter of rotor. You can see there. Once again, capital D is your diameter of stator bore. It is the one of main dimension. L is the length of stator core. These two you can observe in figure very neatly. Then we can define some important terms before going to derivation. There are two types of loadings in electrical machines. Number 1, total magnetic loading. The name itself gives total flux around the armature at the air gap is called total magnetic loading. That means total flux available in the air gap in simple manner. Hence, if a machine has 4 poles, then phi is the flux per pole. Then total magnetic loading is 4 times of flux per pole, 4 times of phi. In general, if machine has p number of poles, total magnetic loading is p pi. Total magnetic loading is p pi. In a similar fashion, total electric loading, the total number of ampere conductors around the armature or stator periphery is called total electric loading. That means total ampere conductors around the armature periphery. So it is known as Iz into Z. Iz is current flowing through one conductor, current flowing through each conductor. Z be the total number of conductors, armature conductors. These two definitions are very important. Next, another two definitions are coming depending upon these two. These two referred as basic point for design of electrical machines. So number 1, we are having again two types of specific loadings. Number 1, specific magnetic loading. Specific magnetic loading, that is B average, it is denoted by B average. That means average flux density in the armature periphery of air gap. So it is denoted by total flux in the air gap and area of flux path at the air gap. Flux density is flux per area. Flux per area, here total flux divided by total area. So total flux is p pi, area of flux path in the air gap pi dl. So you remember B average, average flux density, that should be equal to p pi divided by pi dl. Number 2, specific electric loading. It is denoted by small ac. So it is defined as the number of ampere conductors, the number of armature ampere conductors per meter of armature periphery at the air gap is known as specific electric loading. So it is denoted by small ac. Small ac equal to total ampere conductors divided by armature periphery at air gap. So it should be equal to Iz into Z divided by pi d. These two definitions are very important in our derivation. Next, what you mean by output equation? This is very fundamental equation. So already we have in case of transformer, what are the parameters are related directly proportional to kVA rating. It may be frequency, it may be window space factor, it may be current density, it may be area of window, it may be area of iron. All these factors are directly proportional. Getting the idea? So, in the same manner, output equation of electrical machines means the relation between output either P or Q. P means kilowatt, Q means kVA. Output of general electrical machine proportional to or indirectly proportional to specific magnetic loading or specific electric loading or speed. We have to see what is the derivation, what is the relation exist between output of machine to the specific magnetic loading and specific electric loading and speed. This equation describes the relationship. Such a equation is referred as output equation. So, we have to derive output equation for DC machine as well as AC machine. Very important derivation. It is available for model number 2, output equation for DC machine. Okay, sir. Let power developed by armature, we know that PA in kilowatts. So, this PA equal to generated EMF into current into 10 to the power of minus 3. So, generated EMF is E, current is armature current into 10 to the power of minus 3. Develop the equation number 1. Then we know that generated EMF phi Zn P by A volts. So, only careful observation point is N in RPS. N in RPS, P is number of poles, A is number of parallel paths. Already you are knowing these things. Substituting this value in equation 1, PA equal to phi Zn P by A into IA into 10 to the power of minus 3. So, you group that like that. P pi one group, then IA by A into Z into N into 10 to the power of minus 3. So, armature current per parallel path, that should be equal to current flowing in one conductor, that is IA by A equal to IZ. Replace this factor. Hence, we are going to get equation number 2, P pi IZ into Z into N into 10 to the power minus 3. What is P pi? Total magnetic loading. What is IZ into Z? Total electric loading. What is N? Speed in RPS, 10 to the power minus 3. So, what it the equation 2 gives? Equation 2 provides the relation between power developed across armature related to total magnetic loading, total electric loading and speed of the machine in RPS, that is directly proportional. So, from above equation, it is not clearly available relation between main dimensions, that is active materials required, that is of iron, that is of copper. Hence, to obtain the relation between output and active materials required, hence we have to take specific loadings. Hence, already we know that as number 1, specific magnetic loading B average equal to P pi divided by pi dl. Therefore, P pi equal to B average into pi dl. Obtain the equation number 3. Specific electric loading AC, AC equal to IZ into Z divided by pi d. So, we can relate IZ into Z equal to pi d into AC, equation number 4. Substituting the values of P pi and IZ into Z values in equation number 2, Hence, we are going to get Pa equal to P pi into Iz into Z n into 10 to the power of minus 3. It is equation number 2. You substitute these values from equation 3 and equation 4. And finally, we are going to get Pa equal to d square Ln. You write one side d square Ln. Except these factors, all things place in bracket. All things keep in bracket. That is pi square B average AC into 10 to the power of minus 3. So, we are going to get final expression Pa equal to C naught d square L n, equation number 4. This is referred as output equation of DC machine, either a motor, either a generator. Later on we have to see, where C naught is known as output coefficient. C naught is called as output coefficient. What is the value of C naught? C naught equal to pi square B average AC into 10 to the power of minus 3, equation 5. Hence, you remember these two expressions to calculate the problems. Okay. So, another 1 or 2 steps. Whether the DC machine may be motor, the DC machine may be as a generator. Hence, we have to make difference as a motor, as a generator. So, if a DC generator, you are considering the first case, it is connected to prime mover. Hence, prime mover supplies friction, windage and error losses, because it is a rotating machine. Hence, if it is in not rotation, then there is no supply of these losses. The armature of the generator supplies its own copper loss and field copper loss. That means it supplies the I square R loss. Hence, power developed by the generator, that should be written as PA, power across the armature, equal to output power plus armature copper loss plus field copper loss. Output power of the generator is P plus losses, or it may be also written as input power minus friction, windage and iron loss. You are knowing the output, convert into input. We are knowing the output, similarly you convert input, that is P by efficiency minus friction, windage and iron loss. We can obtain equation 6. With the same machine, if it acts as a motor, then copper losses are taken from supply and friction, windage, iron losses are supplied by the armature, just reverse. Hence, in case of motor, Pa equal to rating of machine P plus friction, windage and iron loss. The equation 7, it can be used for motor, but however, one main assumption is that for larger rating of machines, these losses are very less. Variation of these losses are very less for larger rating of machines. Hence, friction, windage and iron losses are neglected. Finally, it becomes Pa equal to P by efficiency for generator, equation 8. Pa equal to P for motor, equation 9. If in examination derive the output equation for DC machines with usual notations, means you have to derive up to equation 8 and 9, sir. But in case of small rating machines, this difference is not neglected, it is considerable amount. Hence, in case of small machines, let us compute the armature power for small rating of motor having an output of P and efficiency. So, output equal to P kilowatt, input equal to P by efficiency. Once again, output equal to P kilowatt, input equal to P by efficiency kilowatt. Hence, we can determine total loss equal to input minus output. So, finally, we are getting the expression P into bracket 1 minus efficiency divided by efficiency. One assumption again, the friction, windage and iron losses for small rating of motors may be taken as 1/3 of total loss. Hence, friction, windage and iron loss must be equal to 1/3 of this total loss. Hence, you develop the expression power developed by armature in case of motor must be equal to PA equal to P plus iron, windage and losses. Hence, finally, we are getting that PA equal to P plus friction, windage, iron losses. So, this losses may be considered as 1/3 of value, 1/3 of output. So, P plus 1/3 of this value. Hence, we are going to get 1 plus 2 times of efficiency divided by 3 times of efficiency into P. It is in case of motor. Similarly, we are going to get for small generators PA equal to 2 times of efficiency divided by 3 times of efficiency. This is for special case, very low rating of machines, sir. So, you have to stop at equation number earlier, derive the equation